Hey everyone, welcome back to Shop Life. I hope you guys have enjoyed the past few videos, but yet again, I'm back with another talking video. I don't know, I just feel like talking, and I feel like these videos are very informative. I know the DIYs are informative as well, but these are, will help out a much bigger audience. And I feel that it's very important, especially right now is a season where a lot of people are going to be buying cars, and even it's about to be tax time as well, so people are going to start getting their tax refunds. They're going to be buying cars then as well. So this video should help out quite a few people that are trying to buy a used vehicle or even a new vehicle that they purchased previously. So what I'm talking about is extended warranties. So as far as extended warranties go, there's so many companies out there, there's so many contracts, so many different levels of warranties that you can buy. There's so many different options that you really do have to pay attention to what they're offering you, and you do really have to read the contract. So when you're usually at the dealership, you're just trying to get the car and get out of there. When they offer you the warranty, if you're in the market for one, you might not read through all of it. But I really encourage you to read through it as much as you can, or even take a picture, send it to a mechanic that you know, or even just research the company that they're providing the service contract through. So in particular, the one that I'm working with right now for this car that's on top of me is a 2004 330i. The individual that bought the car, he was offered a service contract. I believe it's through AAGI. Their whole protection package is called Wheels with a Z, and they've actually not been too bad to work with. I've dealt with them before as well with the same car, and their whole claim situation for the shop owner side is actually not too bad. And I believe most of all the other service contracts are very similar in how they pay out the shop. Is usually you have to file a claim. They might send out an inspector to actually look at what's wrong with the car. Depending on the whole dollar amount of what the repair is going to cost, there's always a deductible. And that's usually where a lot of people will get you. So the deductible does not happen just like once that whole year. Every time you file a claim, you have to have that deductible. So you want to try to get the deductible as low as possible. So let's say, like for this one in general, this one has a $250 deductible. So if we're doing work, let's say like an alternator replacement. The alternator replacement is going to be about $400, maybe $500 if you're really pushing it. And I mean, if the deductible is $250, you're still paying that $250 out of pocket. So you really want to make sure that that deductible is low. So usually the deductible, the average one is around $500. So if you were doing an alternator replacement, $500. I mean, the deductible that's all that's being covered. So it's even pointless to go through that warranty.
So two questions I would have is, are extended warranties, are they negotiable? And also, how you said how it works with the shop, like they contact them and all that. But what if you're the one working on the car? Is it possible to still work on your car and get it paid? That's
a good question, actually. As far as the extended warranty goes, if you're DIYing, no, you cannot. The warranty doesn't do anything because they have to make sure that is an authorized repair facility. So they do actually ask for some sort of accreditation, some sort of business license or whatnot to make sure that that repair facility is legit. You're not just going to your friend and having them act as a repair facility. So that is, that's actually a really good question. So you cannot really do DIYs. But if you're getting a warranty, chances are you're not really going to want a DIY. That's why you're getting the warranty. So that's a good question. Now, what was the other question?
Are the
negotiable, right? I think the negotiating, it actually depends on the used car dealer itself. They might take up some of that cost, but usually the contract, it is what it is. It's based on the car itself and how many miles it has. And usually the used car dealership is actually liable for reporting the condition of the car to that service contract provider. Because I believe the used car dealership, they actually have to have a contract with that service contract provider. And if they get some sort of red flags, like if they keep selling lemons or whatnot, they're going to just cancel the contract. So it all depends on the used car dealer you go to. You can negotiate with the dealer itself, but the contract is usually not negotiable. I'm pretty sure some of those service contracts, extended warranties, they actually cover you going to the dealer as well. So that shouldn't be a problem. Just make sure you read that fine print, because that's where they might write no dealerships, or they might have a certain rate that they cover up to. So every time you file a claim with the extended warranty provider, they ask what the shop rate of labor is. So, and that's just so they know how much they're going to pay out. Now, like I was saying before, you really have to make sure that you look through the tiers that are available. So the very basic tier of warranty, extended warranty, is usually just going to be the powertrain, which is engine, transmission. If it grenades itself, is usually they'll cover it. But even that, there's stipulations as far as how they'll cover it, what dollar amount they'll cover up to. So you just really want to read that fine print, and depending on the car, you should have somewhat of an idea of how much things will cost. And make sure that they're covering the full labor amount. Make sure you're looking at the deductible, and then the tier that I usually recommend. So if you're really not handy at all, like you don't want to DIY anything, and you just want everything covered, that's usually going to be the very, very top of the line. Depending on the value of the car, that can range from $5,000, it can range all the way up to $10,000. If you're buying a BMW, and if you really want to keep it, running top notch, and you are going to be driving it hard, that's something that's very, very good to have, because things go out, electrical issues, and usually that top of the line warranty package will cover electrical issues. It'll cover brakes. It's almost like a bumper to bumper warranty. But like I said, the higher the miles the car has, the lower warranty coverage is going to be available. Some warranty companies won't even warranty cars that are older than 10 years. So it all depends on what's available to you. And then there's also stipulations as far as how many claims can be made on that whole warranty program, or per year, or in certain time frames. So you want to read that as well. This all comes down to reading. So let me just talk about this car in general, and what this warranty has covered, and what their stipulations are, and why I feel like this is actually not that bad of a deal. So he actually ended up paying about $3,000 for the warranty. The car only has 61,000 miles. It's a 2004 330i. And as far as what they've covered, so he's got the mid-level, which is I believe the premium or premier, and it pretty much covers a lot of the stuff. So it covers brake calipers. It does not cover rotors or pads. It does cover some parts of the suspension. For example, it does cover the front struts. It does not cover the rear shocks, but front struts, front control arms, control arm bushings it'll cover. It even covers the power steering pump. It does cover the power steering rack, but does not cover any of those hoses, does not cover any of the tie rods or like actual steering coupling or anything like that. Now, it does not cover, tires or any consumables like brake pads, oil changes. It doesn't cover any of that. It does cover like a valve cover, not the gasket, but if the valve cover itself is cracked or anything, it will cover that. It covers water pump, thermostat, alternator, the starter. It does not cover the battery, but it does cover like wiring as well. Like let's say like the terminal broke off or something, it does cover that. It does cover the metal parts of the brake lines or any fluid lines. If they're like actual metal, it does cover that. If the engine blows up, covers that. Transmission blows up, it covers that. But there is a deductible on each claim. So depending on the value of what the claim is going to be, so what all you're going to have to repair, they might actually send an inspector out. If it's something that's minor, like an alternator, they usually don't really, go through the trouble to send that inspector out. But usually the deductible is, going to cover the cost of the repair. So you're still not really making, that warranty is usually not being used at that point. So depending on the actual cost of the repair, if the inspector comes out, they might not approve some stuff. So you want to be wary of that as well. So his deductible is $250. So if we were just replacing the alternator itself, that pretty much, he would still have to pay quite a bit to get that alternator repaired. But also, so if your car breaks down, most of these service contracts do cover, whatever the cause of the breakdown was. So that's another issue. So like if you actually broke down and it's something that broke that does not, or that is not covered in that warranty contract, chances are they will fix that certain issue just so that you can get it back on the road. They will also cover tow charges up to a certain extent. So this warranty package covers up to $75. So, that's really not much, but, if you broke down and you're going to just a shop right down the street, you'll be fine. Now, as far as, the whole deductible situation, some people will be like, oh, maybe then I should just wait until more things are wrong and then repair them altogether. And that is a viable solution, but, once again, if you're waiting for things to go wrong, you might actually end up biting off more than you can chew. By that I mean other stuff might break that might not be covered by the warranty, and then you're pretty much spending more money out of your pocket unless you would have just fixed it usually at the beginning. And usually before they give these service contracts out, the used car dealer is liable for looking through the car and noting everything to let them know what all can potentially go wrong and how everything is. So just make sure you're reading everything. Once again, that's the main key, is read, read, read. And obviously, whatever company that they're giving you the contract through, look them up. I mean, there's gonna be bad reviews for every single company, doesn't matter. But try to actually read those bad reviews and see why they wrote it. And definitely ask whoever you're going to be taking your car to. Some people don't like working with extended warranties at all, just because it is that hassle. It takes more time for the mechanic to actually get that whole process done. So make sure you talk to your mechanic. They'll be able to at least let you know if they've worked with that company before and how they are, and just ask around on forums and whatnot, and then you should be good. Now, as far as the shop owner side for the warranty contracts, I've dealt with a couple of different providers. It's usually not easy. Sometimes it is. Usually the way that they do it is, they'll try to take you down as much as they can as far as what you're charging labor rate wise, whatever parts you're getting. They usually don't really care as to what type of parts you're using, what brands and stuff, but sometimes, in the fine print, it might have, only aftermarket brands or stuff like that, or no dealer brands, genuine, anything like that. So you got to make sure you read that as well. So usually those, the way that they pay you is through credit card authorization, usually over the phone. They can send you a check as well, and that's usually the two common methods. You do have to file a claim first. You have to give them part numbers. You have to give them prices as far as what you're getting the parts for the pricing, and where you're getting it from, what brand you're using, and then you also have to give them your labor rate, how long the labor time is going to be, and they'll compare it with what they know, and they'll try to come to somewhat of a compromise. And then after that's done, once a claim is started, you have to finish all the repairs. You have to have the customer sign off on the repair, and then you have to send the actual invoice to the warranty company, and then they'll send you the payment or authorize the payment. Besides that, I know there's going to be a lot of people that have had really bad experiences with warranties, but for me as a shop owner, I've dealt with a few different companies. It's usually not too bad. They do try to haggle you down, and they try to run around the bush, but if you just stick to it and you're not trying to just take advantage of them, you're going to be fine. Now when you start trying to take advantage of them, it's very easy to see. They'll know, and that's when everything starts getting dicey. So just make sure you're going to be truthful, and you're not trying to just get the warranty to get free stuff. You actually have to use it for what it's meant for. And in the end, even with the whole paid out claim and whatnot, the customer is usually never given the money directly. The money usually goes directly to the repair center. So, if you're trying to get the warranty check, you're usually not going to get it. It's going to go to that repair center. So try not. For me, everybody that's brought me the warranty, I'm not trying to take advantage of the warranty people. I just don't stand for anything like that. So, for me, it's, try to be ethical as much as I can. So if there is something wrong, I'm going to try to be as truthful and let the warranty people know. And you just got to be like that, because if they do send an inspector out and you're just lying to them, they can probably void the whole contract at that point. So, or they might just ban that repair facility. So just make sure you're trying to do everything properly and you're not trying to take advantage of anybody. Otherwise, you're just going to shoot yourself in the foot. Now, with the whole extended warranty claims, like I said, the process is not, just quickly done. It might take some time. So sometimes they do actually cover rental cars as well, depending on your contract itself. So if they do cover that rental, then it's not an issue. But if they don't, and you got to be prepared that your car might, just the whole payment process time might take about 2 to 3 days itself. So just be sure that you know if it's going to work out for you or not. Anyways, I hope this video helped you guys out. If you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment down below. I'm sure other people that have had experiences will try to chime in and help you out as well. Thanks for watching, and good luck on your used car purchase. And hopefully, if you get an extended warranty, I hope it all works out for you in the end.